Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. My name is Karan, and I'm the head of sales for Asia Pacific at Elistair. Warm welcome to all of you. Today, we're bringing to you a live demo of the Orion 2.2 Tactical Edition. And what's special about today's demo is that we will also showcase the capabilities of the Orion Heavy Lift. So the mission today is basically to show you a quick flight with the Orion Tactical Edition, do a quick survey of the area around, land the drone, attach the heavy lift payload, and show you the capabilities of the heavy lift as well. In terms of weather, we're a bit restricted today because it's quite windy, and we're going to be flying basically at the limit of the Orion. But it's also a good opportunity for us to showcase that capability. Apart from that, it's about fluctuates between 8 to 9 degrees. We have wind on the ground at about 10 to 15 kilometers, and at up to 40 to 50 meters, it's at about 35 kilometers per hour. Apart from that, it's a sunny day, and we're more or less ready to take off. So our pilot Seb is just doing a quick test for your pitch and roll and checking the stability. We recommend you do the same. So once we reach hovering altitude, the idea is we're going to focus on a TV tower about 8 kilometers from our location. We will then have the opportunity to test the zoom in, zoom out capabilities. We are using the Raptor on the Orion today. So we have the Orion 2.2 Tactical Edition with a Raptor camera with a times 80 zoom. And we're also using the latest version of the Safety 2.2. We're bringing this live demo to you from just outside of Lyon, a small town called Lantilly, which is, I would say, about 25 to 30 kilometers north of the city of Lyon. Lyon by itself is based in the southeastern part of France. As you can see now, that's the TV tower, communication tower that we're focusing on. It's about 8 kilometers from where we are. So we have a question, what is the maximum height the drone can reach? Well, we can fly, so the tether length is 100 meters, so we can fly effectively all the way up to between 95 to 97 meters if the conditions aren't too windy. Of course, this is the limit of the drone. On average, we fly at between 80 to 85 meters. Okay, zooming in on the communication tower, 8 kilometers away, and we're at times 15 zoom. The Raptor has a times 80 zoom capability and a 4 times digital zoom. So another question, how long can the drone stay in flight mode, and what is the payload for that particular drone? So good question. We can with the Orion 2.2, we can stay in the air for up to 50 hours is what we have tested. However, theoretically, you don't really need to bring the drone down. You know, you can keep flying it for an unlimited amount of time because it is tethered, and that is the main USP of a tethered drone. However, at Elistair, we have tested the Orion up to 50 hours, and we have a time-lapse video on YouTube, so you can have a quick look at that. Regarding payloads, the payload that we're using right now is a camera called the Raptor by NextVision. We also have the option of using multiple other payloads, and we will discuss that as soon as we land. And we will also discuss and show you options for heavy lift payloads. So speaking about the GCS display that you see, on the bottom left, you can see the map. The pilot or the user can drop in multiple points of interest and get the camera to auto-rotate on all of these features. On the top, you can see the our current GPS location. You can also drop a pin and see the GPS location of that pin. On the top left, we have the controls for the Orion. As you can see, it's one-click takeoff and land, and you can control the Orion through the GCS, which is a laptop, or we also provide a joystick, which will allow you to control the camera through the GCS. On the right of the screen, you have the camera controls. And later on during the demo, we will also pick possibly a truck on the highway and show you some of the detection and tracking capabilities of the Raptor. And at the bottom, you have the controls for the safety. And the most important thing to watch out when you fly tethered is the power consumption. So you're able to look at the power consumption, the temperature, the tether length, the torque application, and generally control your tether station from here. Controls for the drone are on your left-hand side. There's a question, what is the maximum wind capabilities? So this is up to 50 kilometers and 35 kilometers of gusts. Okay, so we're dropping some points of interest, as you can see on the map, and you can get the camera to auto-rotate to those points of interest. There's no limit to the number of pins that you can drop on the map. You can drop multiple pins. You also have the chance to see a bit of the countryside just outside of Lyon. Like I said earlier, this is a small town called Lantilly. We are northwest of the city of Lyon. Some more information about the payload. Like I said, we're using the Raptor today. It's a 2-axis plus a third digital axis. It is times 80 zoom. It's 40 times optical and times a 4 digital zoom on the night channel. It has a infrared sensor. The Orion is a IP54 rated drone, which means it is comfortable to fly in moderate rain and dust. Operating temperature is -10 to +45. The maximum payload capacity for the tactical edition that you're looking at right now is 1.5 kilos. With the heavy lift, it's 5 kilos. And we're going to see the heavy lift soon. A tensile strength of the tether is 150 Dan, and the micro tether length is 100 meters. It comes in a 2-mission pack-out pelly case, and it has a multiple fail-safe architecture with no single point of failure, and a smart parachute that opens in case only of critical failure or when you hit the emergency button that you see on the top left. Okay, we're going to try and focus on maybe a truck on the highway. And that's it. We can drop a pin and follow the vehicle. You're looking at one of the main highways that goes into the city of Lyon. It's one of the busiest highway in France. As you can see, we're following a blue and white truck. So as you can see, this is the auto tracking feature on the Raptor. All right, and what we can do now is we can give you another view and maybe test the either the infrared or proceed to moving on to the heavy lift mission. So we have a question about onboard data storage. The thing with the Tether drone is that all the data goes directly from the UAV down to the Tether station, which in turn is connected to the GCS. So all of this data is being recorded live, and it is automatically stored on the GCS. Yes, there will be. So there's There are several people asking about a recorded session. Yes, we will release a recorded session a couple of weeks after the demo today. Okay, I think what we can do is we can proceed to landing now, so we can show the heavy lift capability of the Orion as well. So, folks, what we're going to do now is we're going to swap. We're going to do a quick landing, and we're going to show you some payload options for the heavy lift, and what kind of payloads you can attach to that. Um, and then with a 5 kg mock-up payload, we're going to do another flight. So we have a question. The hover position is controlled using GNSS or your own solution. That's right. It's using a GNSS on the Orion. Is it possible to put a radio repeater? I would need a heavy lift option. Yes, that's correct. And we will show you a slide about the types of heavy lift payload that is possible. And can you swap? Yes, you can swap. We have something called the payload development kit, and we're going to have a look at it right now. Okay. Does the drone have a thermal camera option? Yes, it does. So this is more so the capability of the payload rather than the capability of the drone. But yes, the payloads that we offer do have a thermal camera option. Okay, these are some of the other payloads. We have the XQT AI, and we can also offer a laser rangefinder payload. That's the one you're looking at. That's the on the right of your screen. You have the XQT LRF, which is the laser rangefinder payload. And at the bottom, that is our payload development kit. Basically, you just need to attach the payload to the PDK, and the PDK latches onto the drone. For all of these three payloads, we are already integrated, so there's no need to integrate them further. Both the XQT AI, the one you're looking at, and the XQT LRF that you saw earlier, these are 3-axis payloads, and the laser rangefinder has a 3-kilometer range. Thank you for that, Seb. What we're going to do now is, whilst Seb, our pilot, does a quick changeover of the payload, right now you can see him changing the arms. So when it comes to the heavy lift Orion, we have longer, more powerful arms that allows us to carry the heavy lift payload. And what you're looking at on your screen right now is the PDK with a mock-up IMSI catcher Of course, as you know, the MC catcher is a very sensitive device, and we cannot fly it without regulatory permission. So what you're looking at on your screen is a mock-up. But in order to demonstrate, we have tied in two 2.5 kilo plates, and we're going to fly with them now. That's about 5 kg. And with the Orion heavy lift, you can do 5 kgs at 50 meters. So that is an example of an MC catcher integrated onto our payload development kit. If you'd like more information about that, feel free to reach out to us and we can send you a leaflet or an integration manual. As you can see, Pilot Sev is now attaching the longer arms for the Orion heavy lift. And whilst he does that, for those of you that are not familiar with us, we are a company called Elistair. We are a French manufacturer of tethered drone systems, and we sell our products in more than 65 countries globally. So depending on where you're reaching out to us from, please drop us a line, and we will give you the contact for the area manager of that region. Key applications that we cater to are tactical communications, and we will show you those payload options shortly on screen. In addition, ISR, which is one of our ISR and border surveillance are our key applications, and most of our customers, I would say about 60 to 65% of our customers are from border surveillance and ISR operations. In addition, we also do. In addition, we can also do event security, traffic monitoring, for which we partner with a software management company, and sensitive site surveillance, perimeter security for sensitive sites. Okay, and here is our one pager on the type of payloads that you can put on a Orion 2.2 heavy lift. So one is a radio, so you can convert the Orion 2.2 into a variable height antenna and increase the range of your network. An MC catcher, like the one we just showed you. Of course, that one was a dummy. And you can use an MC catcher to replicate a cell phone tower and use the drone to track and locate any sort of potential threats. Key customers for that is border and perimeter surveillance, law enforcement, and disaster recovery and search and rescue. Okay, CUAV radar payloads to detect and locate UAVs and pilots with CUAV and radar payloads can also be integrated onto the Orion. And lastly, you can also mount a 4G, 5G LTE base station and bring connectivity to areas where there isn't any. If you'd like more information about any of these applications, feel free to reach out to us. Since we have various payloads, we're not going to discuss the capabilities of those individual payloads. And what I mean by that is for example, we have a question about the range of interception. However, this is more specific to the brand of the MC catcher we use. What we're trying to demonstrate today is that we can be compatible with multiple brands using our payload development kit. These are not capabilities that are provided by an MC catcher manufactured by Elistair, but by our partners. And so please reach out to us and we will be able to share that information with you. We have a question. Can you mount dual payloads? That's a really good question. Yes, we can. However, it's not as straightforward as any payload you would like. For example, on the Orion, we can mount a camera as well as a radio. For example, we've partnered with Silvus, and we can mount a Silvus radio along with the camera. For heavy lift, it is possible, but it is a case-by-case analysis and depends on the type of dual payload that you would like to integrate. So please reach out to us, and we can look into it further and give you an answer. So that is the Next Vision Raptor that we use today, mounted onto our PDK. And the same PDK is used for all our other payloads, smaller payloads that we demonstrated to you on the flight earlier. That will be the XQT AI and the XQT laser rangefinder, and of course the Raptor that you see. Now, is it possible for us to integrate your payload? Yes, it is possible, as long as it is within within 2 kilos, including the PDK, including the weight of the PDK. Then yes, it is possible to integrate. We'll just have to work on an integration project, and we can get going. All right. I think we will be ready soon to take off. As you can see, Seb has done a good job of connecting the fake IMSI catcher with 2.5 kilo plates, and we're going to do a quick flight to demonstrate. As you can see, the arms of the Orion are much longer here, and this is what allows us, amongst other things, to be able to carry a heavy lift payload. Okay, so some quick facts and figures about the heavy lift payload. We can do 3 kilos at about 90 meters. We can do 4 kilos at 70 meters and 5 kilos at 50 meters. Of course, a lot depends on the wind and weather conditions, and most importantly, the gusts of wind. We do have a power limitation of 1800 watts. However, the Orion is very well suited to payloads up to 5 kilos. We have tested them in the field, and if you would like to watch some of our test videos, they're available on YouTube. Okay, and as you can see, we're at about 40 meters with the 5 kg payload, and the power consumption is very good. We're between 1200 to 1400 watts, and that's very stable power consumption. Of course, there's no camera attached, so you can't really see the payload directly, but as you can see through that bottom view, you can see the plates and the IMSI catcher that is mounted on the PDK. So folks, I think we're going to land. Basically, this is what we wanted to demonstrate: heavy lift payload, 5 kg, and now, as you can see, we are at 50 meters. This is the limit of the 5 kg payload, and yeah, that's right. So this is the limit of the 5 kg payload, and as I mentioned to you earlier, conditions are fairly windy today. However, we can see that the power consumption is not high, so the Orion is flying efficiently even at windy conditions. So, good question by Troy. Is there an elevation height limit to the system? For example, MSL height is 3,000 meters. Will the system work? So with the Orion, we're, I believe, at the limit of 3,000 meters. And with the safety station, we can do 4,500 meters if you tether it to another drone. However, with the Orion complete tethered system, we're at about 3,000 meters. Is there a tether drop function? No, we focus purely on tethered flight. There is no tether drop function yet. Hopefully there will be one in the future. Is there a reason for the lift height limit 50 meters for 5 kg safety, or just the lifting capacity? At the moment, it is the lifting capacity. We are working to increase that, and there are ways to increase it, but this is depends on individual integration. And so I'll repeat what those capacities are. We are at 50 meters with 5 kilos. We're at 70 meters with 4 kilos, and we're at 90 meters with 3 kilos. However, what's the most important thing to look out for is the power consumption. We have a limit of 1800 watts of power. As you could see, we were flying at 12 to 1300. So you can fly a bit higher. The idea is to stay within those 1800 watts of power. So yeah, I guess speaking to you guys, I missed the landing, but thank you very much, Seb, for that flight. And that was our demonstrator for the Orion heavy lift. What we can do is we can spend a few minutes answering some more questions. So we often get asked, how long does it take to set up, and how long does it take to disassemble everything? So the first time you fly will take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. But the more often you do it, you can bring that time down to 10 minutes. To disassemble, it takes 10 minutes, and with time, you'll be able to do it in about 5 minutes. The 2.2 looks pretty impressive with those long arms. As you can see, this is what really gives it that heavy lift capability. Are you using an inverter to power the tether system today? Okay, yes, good question. We are using a inverter generator. The power demands depend, and in my experience, they're very specific to your region. If you have European weather where you're listening to us from, then we can manage with about 3,500 kilowatts of power, and that's what we're using today, 3,000. If you're joining us from Asia, or if you're joining us from Africa, and temperatures can be pretty high, you will need at least 4,000 to 4,000 kilowatts of power. What's important is that it needs to be an inverter generator, because we don't want too many spikes, because this could then send power up the tether and damage the tether connector and also the payload. How much does the rangefinder camera weigh, and would there be enough capacity left over for radio payload? So with the current rangefinder that we use, I believe it is not possible. However, we have been working with a partner on a rangefinder and a small radio. I think, Yusuf, it would be best if you reach out to us, and we can send you more information on this. Yes, 3,000 watts, not kilowatts. Yeah, 3,000 watts and 3 kilowatts. Not sure. In case I've missed some questions, maybe you can ask them again, or Svetlana will be able to answer them. We'll keep the chat going. In the meanwhile, you can also have a look at our pilot disassembling the unit. That's the battery that you can see on the ground. Can the Orion, so we have a question from Clement. Hello, Clement. Can the Orion work from the platform of a moving vehicle, or does the vehicle have to remain stationary? This is a really good question, and it gives me a chance to also tell you about our new product, the Chronos. So yes, the Orion cannot work from a platform of a moving vehicle. However, we have a product called the Chronos, and the Chronos is basically designed for a vehicle integrated platform. It has the capability follow me function. We can send you the leaflet, so just send us an email. In which case, using the Chronos, it does not need to remain stationary. Using the Orion, yes, we have done some integrations on vehicle or moving platforms, so to say, but they need to remain stationary. For example, port side surveillance can be done from a vessel, but that vessel cannot be moving in the case of Orion, but it could be in the case of Chronos. Okay. Okay, maybe Svetlana can drop it in email about Cal's question. Can the range camera finder camera fit onto the Chronos? Not yet, Yusuf, but we would like for it to one day. At the moment, the Chronos comes with Raptor and Dragon Eye only. What are Chronos properties? So I think you mean what are the features of Chronos and are they the same as the Orion? So in principle, we specialize in tethered drones only. However, what is special about the Chronos is it's designed specially for vehicle integration. It's designed for vehicle platforms. It has a nest and the drone auto lands into the nest. It is smaller in size compared to the Orion. And it is basically designed for all types of moving platforms. So we'll send you a leaflet. Just drop your email, and you can also, I believe, now see some videos of the Chronos on YouTube. Okay. Whilst I was speaking, obviously our pilots are trying to present the various parts. As you can see, the propeller of the heavy lift is much longer as compared to the tactical edition. And what do you see on top? There's a lid on top, and this is where the parachute is exactly. That is the parachute. And it is a fail-safe that will self-deploy, but only in emergency situations, or you can deploy it. You can deploy it by hitting the emergency button, but I would not recommend that. Is the Chronos freshwater compatible? I don't know exactly what that means. And can it be mounted on a boat? So, Clement, we've just released the Chronos, maybe less than 6 months ago. At the moment, we've tested it on several vehicles, mostly on our pickup. We've also tested it with Rheinmetall's UGV. And if you follow us on LinkedIn, we have several articles and I believe a short video as well posted about the integration with the UGV. Nothing so far on a boat. If you have a project for a boat, we'll be very, very interested in that. We are working with some people for the marinization of the Chronos, but it's not there yet. This is fairly complex operation, keeping in mind buoyancy and magnetic interference. So something we're working on, so we don't have it yet. Okay, now we're looking at the safety of all our products. This is our flagship best-selling product at Elistair. And the control panel, you see the power. We have a 10-function torque that allows you to control operation in windy conditions. You can also do silent operations by turning off the buzzer alarm and the Wi-Fi. And then you have the winch reset button. And the Orion, the safety is compatible with multiple drones, not just the Orion, any 6S or 12S drones. And in the DJI series, it's M300, M30, and M600. Looking inside, looking under the hood, you can see the winch guide that lines up the tether in more or less a perfect manner. This is thanks to the winch guide that you can see right below Seb's hand. We have two RJ45 outputs. So one spare one and one connects to your GCS. You can connect the second laptop if you like. And of course, we have the power in. Okay, we have a question. Someone's interested. Tabani from South Africa. Hello, Tabani. We're interested in a live physical demo in South Africa. Yes, very much possible. I believe for South Africa, your sales manager is either Mares or Steve. So please send us an email on the inquiries and we'll connect you with them. And everybody else that's interested in a live demo. Okay, so basically that's a snapshot of all the equipment that we've used today. Don't know if it's possible for the guys to give us a view of the GCS, the actual physical GCS, but if it's not possible, that's good as well. What we can see, we see the Orion now without its arms. It looks like something out of Star Wars. Okay, yeah, so that's the GCS. It's basically a laptop, and the GCS then allows us connectivity, of course, to the Orion, and it also allows us to capture all the data. Data is stored on the GCS default, so if you don't want to store it, you have to deactivate it, but all data is stored. And basically, you can see, you can also gauge and monitor the health of your Orion, and there you have the joystick on the right. The joystick is largely used to control the camera. Largely, no, it is used to only control the camera. But you also have the option of controlling and maneuvering the camera from the GCS. And I think that's good enough. Thank you very much, guys. Svetlana will be on the chat for a few more minutes. So feel free to drop in your questions. It was a pleasure bringing this live demo to you. We have another one later today for some of our partners and potential customers from the US. So you can join that link if you're interested. But apart from that, thank you very much for your time. And we look forward to connecting with you in the future.